वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। हरिः ओम्। So let us quickly trace the entire journey. We are on the last day, last session perhaps. So in the third chapter of Pancadasi, which is the Pancakosha Viveka, Vidyaranya Swami said, you have to understand who you are, and I will get that done for you through a discriminative analysis of the 5 layers, Pancakosha Viveka. So he defined the 5 koshas, and for every kosha he brought a certain logic and said, that cannot be you. Then the Purva Pakshi came and said, fine, your logic seems to be fine, but if you remove everything, then there is nothing to see. So that trace of thought has been going. That I have nothing to see has been going. So after that 11 shlokas, the balance are all trying to get our... See, we have a problem of perspective. We use our sensory organs and try to understand. And we want to apply the same logic to understand the Vastu also. Since it is such a hard nut to crack, the remaining 32 shlokas are only on that. Pancakosha, we have chod diya. Long back we have dropped it. In 10 shlokas you have dropped Pancakosha. Now after that we do not know what to do, because we are so used to using our karmendriyas and jnanendriyas and trying to know. This Vastu is beyond all that. That any number of times you say this Purva Pakshi is not understanding. That's what we are going through. And it is understandable, because we only know a certain way of doing things, and that doesn't work here. So that is why it is long drawn, it is told once again, it is looked at from another lens. All that is what is happening in this chapter. At the end of the day, that's what is happening. But in that process of doing that, what Vidyaranya Swami did was he established the 3 lakshanas, which is Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. Okay? Because that is a Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman. That is a Swarupa Lakshana, right? So he was, while trying to sort out the problems of Purva Pakshi, he is also simultaneously playing this role. He is saying, please understand, it is Satya, it is Jnanam. And what is Jnanam? That is Bodha Swarupakam. What is Jnanam? That is Svayam Prakasha. Okay? So that is Jnanam, please understand. Then he talked about Satyam, Badharahityam, that which can never be negated, or the balance, the residual. After everything is over, something must remain. So while solving the problem of the Purva Pakshi, trying to show him in different ways, in the same process he is also bringing the Brahma Lakshana. So he is riding 2 horses at a time. One is sorting out this problem this Purva Pakshi is having. He is constantly trying to look for something. He says this does not belong to like this category. Like this is idrik. Like this, like this, like this. No, it doesn't belong to that category. It doesn't belong to like that also. Tadrik also not possible. It doesn't belong to that. Please understand. You are using what the skills you have. I don't have a problem. But that is not going to get you. So, idrik nasti, tadrik nasti. Then he said, you know, if you are idrik and tadrik is too much for you, I'll use simpler terms. This is called pratyaksha. That is called paroksha. So it is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha. Then the Purva Pakshi said, oh, the self is also somewhere, no? So can I put it under paroksha? He said, no, you can't do it. Because you are not able to find self, therefore it is paroksha. But the self is very much closer to you, so it has to be pratyaksha. So it is in between the two. I have to find a new category. So he said aparoksha. So aparoksha is a very special term. Aparoksha explains a trishanka avastha. It is neither like that nor like this. It can be both, it can be neither. I can make your head spin like this. It is neither like this nor like that. It can be called as like this sometimes. It can be called as like that sometimes. I want a third category now. So pratyaksha, paroksha, then he introduced another term, aparoksha. These are all used in Vedanta. So aparoksha is not opposite of paroksha. Please understand. Adharma is opposite of dharma. Anitya is opposite of nitya. Aparoksha is not opposite of paroksha. Aparoksha is a trishanka avastha. It is neither pratyaksha nor paroksha. It is somewhere in between. I am not able to explain. That we should understand clearly. So all that he said. Then he established that Badarahityam and all that, witness and all that. It is Satyam. It will never disappear. Whatever you do, it will not disappear. Just because you are not able to see it, that doesn't mean it is not there. Use your inference. Use your anumana and try to understand. In sleep I was there, so I come to a conclusion, I must be somewhere. So anumana. Use inference. Okay. So he established Satyam. He established Jnanam. Anantam we just started. Now he is going to end the chapter beautifully. You know, Vidyanatha is such a smart person. See, so far he is at the 10,000 feet. Because we are seeing he is talking some nice concepts which are all fine. Tell me about me. Finally he has to tie it to me, no? That's how he ends the chapter actually. What he does is, he comes from 10,000 to ground. So last 5-6 shlokas are, he finally brings that to our level. And the certain what you call imperfections that we all are, he reconciles that also. Because you know, Satyam Jnanam Anantam is all fine. I don't see it. You are telling I am also Satyam Jnanam Anantam. I don't see it. So we have this nagging problem, no? That also he addresses. And finally he says Brahman is equal to you. And that is equal to Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So he is going to end the chapter. So we'll see those balanced shlokas today. Where let us see how he is slowly descending down to our level and connects, using some concepts, he connects everything and tells us. So this is where we stopped yesterday. Siddham Brahmani Satyatvam Jnanatvam tu Pureritam Swayameva Anubhutitvat Ityadi Vachanaihi Sputam. Starting from that 18th shloka or something where he said Swayameva Anubhutitvat. 13 Arabhya, 33 Paryantam. I have explained Satyatvam and Jnanatvam, Pureritam. Right? So Sputam. I gave you different logic, and so Satyam and Anantam has been sorted out. Right? What is remaining is yeah. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So Satyam and Jnanam has been sorted out. Balance is Anantam. So that he takes 2 shlokas, and from the Anantam, through that route he comes to the limited being we are. From Anantam he brings it to Ananantam. We are all Ananantam. In a very empirical sense, we are all very limited. So he also has to connect that piece also. Otherwise, these concepts are all very distant to me. So that also he does, and finally ties all of them together. That's what he is attempting actually. Okay, so we'll see the next shloka. Navyaptitva deshatonto nityatvannapi kalatah navastutopi sarvatmyat anantyam brahmanitridha. Brahmani trida. Trida is threefold. Dha is always used in Sanskrit for fold. Panchada, Chaturda, Ashtada, Dvida. If you put dha, that's the equivalent of English fold, fold. Fivefold. If you want to say fivefold, Panchada. Here he says trida, threefold. That is the meaning of Tridha. Brahmani Trida. In Brahman, there is a threefold Lakshana. That's how the shloka ends. Brahmani Trida. Now he says that what are the threefold Lakshanas? Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam. So he is trying to explain all the three. He says, Na Vyaptitvat Deshatah Antah. Nityatvat na api kalatah. Na vyaptitvat. How can it be na vyaptitvat?
It is vyapitvat.
Vyapitvat. No, not vyapti, vyapi. Vyapitvat, correct. Na vyapitvat desha antah. Deshatah antah. Nityatvat na api kalatah. Na vastutah api sarvatmyat. Sanskrit sometimes 4 or 5 consonants will go one behind the other. So it will really twist our tongue. See, you have takara, makara, yakara. 3 of them are there. Sarvatmyat. It, im, I. There are 3 of them there. Makara, takara, and yakara, one behind the other. That's why, in UK, some school in London, they are teaching Sanskrit because they find the only way you can clean up your tongue is Sanskrit. Tongue will become very sharp. Not to talk bad things. What I mean is pronunciation and all that.
Is this Sarvatmani Syat?
Huh?
Sarvatmani Syat?
No. Nakara is not there. No. Okay, so let me explain. See, na vyapitvat. Vyapitvat, na is for later. Vyapitvat, because it is spread everywhere. Vyapitvat, because it is spread everywhere. Na desha antah. The na is for that. Because Brahman is spread everywhere, omnipresent. Because Brahman is omnipresent, Brahman is not limited by space. See, there are only 3 limitations possible. Space, time, object. Because object is still different from space. Space, time, object are the 3 dimensions of limitation. So he brings all the 3 dimensions and says Brahman cannot be tied into it. That's what he is doing. Because Brahman is everywhere. Right? How do you know Brahman is everywhere? Bhagavad Gita chapter 7. There is a 7th shloka. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamitam protam sutre manigana iva. Mattaha parataram, anything other than me. Mattaha parataram. Na anyat kinchit asti, not even a speck of dust you can see other than me. I call it as law of conservation of divinity. Just like law of conservation of energy, divinity can neither be created nor destroyed. Divinity only will keep on changing its nama and rupa and go all over the place. Divinity can neither be created nor be destroyed. Law of conservation of divinity. Law of conservation of mass, law of conservation of energy बोलता है साइंस में, स्पिरिचुअल साइंस में लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ डिविनिटी हमने बोलना है वो. Divinity can neither be created nor be destroyed. At best, it can transform from one form to another form. Right? And that is why in Vibhuti Yoga and in 10th chapter and Vishwarupa Darshana in 11th chapter, he showed him everywhere. Everywhere he showed. Right? So, Vyapitvat na deshantaha. The na goes inside now. Anvaya. Because Brahman is spread everywhere, you cannot tie Brahman with the notion of space. So in space there is no anta. Brahman is ananta. Then Nityatvat. Brahman is available in all the three times. Badarahityam. Brahman is Satyam. Which means it was available. It is available now. It will be available later also. Nityatvat. It is permanent, ever present. Because it is ever present, Brahman is not limited by time. Na kalataha. Nityatvat na api kalataha. It is not limited by time also. Okay? Then he says, na vastutaha api. You cannot limit Brahman by object also. Why? Brahman is sarvatmyam. He is embodied into everything. From one celled amoeba, jada, chit, rocks and rivers and plants and trees and human beings, everything is made of that God particle. That is a God particle. Today science is looking for some God particle. They are having some massive accelerator and then they are thinking they are going to find out the God particle. For us, God particle is everywhere. Everything is nothing but God particle. And how do you know that? Taittiriya Upanishad says it. So kamayata, that Brahman, which was alone, suddenly developed a desire. So kamayata bahusyam prajayeti. I am alone. It is boring. Let me create. Lot of variety. Bahusyam prajayeti satapo tapyata. He did deep contemplation. Know-how is required, no? For doing anything, you need know-how. So you have to think through how to make. Because people take 10 million hours to make one car. 10 million man hours R&D to make one car. God's creation, how many million man hours? Let's say one parada, one night time is equal to 10 power 17 human years. So even if Brahman burns one midnight oil, he has thought through for 10 power 17 human years, pararda. Anyway, he thought. Bahus satapo tapyata sataha tapas taptva idagum sarvam asrijata. He created this whole thing. Tat shrutva, having created all these, tadevanupravishat. He entered into it. That's what the Taittiriya Upanishad says. He thought about it, he created a world into it, the God particle entered. Tadeva anupravishat. Followed it and entered into it. Tadeva anupravishat. Tadanupravishya. Having entered into it. Satyacha. He created all these. Truth, not truth, false, rhythm, everything. Nilayanancha, vijnanancha, satyancha, ritancha, satyam, abhavat. He became everything. That's what Taittiriya Upanishad says. So, because of sarvatmyam, sarvatmyat, on account of being the God particle for everything that you can conceive of, rocks and rivers and jada and chit and etc., etc., etc. On account of he being the part of it, you cannot limit him by object. So that's what he's saying. You cannot limit him by space. You cannot limit him by time. He is not limited by time. He is not limited by object. So that is the Anantam. That is the Anantyam. Anantam. Anantam. Anantabhavaha. There is no end. So in this shloka he says, well, look at these three features. Based on these three features, you can come to a conclusion. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma Lakshanam. Brahmasya Swarupa Lakshanam. This is the real attribute of that Padartha called Brahman. Brahman is not limited by time, space and object. Okay? That is what he actually coming to. In fact, there are very nice quotations I found in Kathopanishad. In fact, our Upanishads celebrate and tell these very nicely in many ways. I'll give you one quote from Kathopanishad and one from Mundakopanishad to know what is being told. Kathopanishad says, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Chetaha Achetana. Moving, non-moving. Nitya Anitya. Certain things are Nitya, certain things are Nitya. The body is Anitya, but the Atma is Nitya. Okay? Nitya Nityanam. Chetanas Chetananam. Eko Bahunam. One or multiple, whatever you see. Eko Bahunam. Yaha Vidadati Kaman. Tam Atmastam. Yaha Anupashyanti Dhiraha. One who goes after searching that. Anupashyanti Dhiraha. Tesham Shantihi Shashwati Na Itaresham. For such people, Shanti is Shashwata. Na Itaresham. Others will go through this roller coaster of happiness, sadness, depression, this, that. One day is good, the other day is not good. One day positive, another day is negative. We will go through the roller coaster of life. But one who went after that, Shashvataha Shantihi. That's what Kathopanishad says. Mundakopanishad first chapter. Shunaka went, Shaunakaha Mahashalaha Vidivat Angirasam Pracha. He went to Angiras. Kasmin Vijnate Sarvamitam Vijnatam Bhavati. By knowing that, I will be known of everything. Please tell me what is it. Look at the adjective for Angiras. Mahasalaha. Maybe he has a big palace. He is materially endowed. Even after materially being endowed, he had that desire to know the ultimate truth. It is not enjoy, let us enjoy kind of. That's a Western methodology. If you get material riches, you have to enjoy. I mean, you can be dharmic also. What I am saying is, that's all. There is nothing more. Here it is not like that. Kasmin vijnate sarvamitam vijnatam bhavati iti. So he says paracha, aparacha, paravidya and aparavidya. And when he talks about the aparavidya, he talks about all literature, Veda, Vedanga, all whatever little science, history, geography, sociology, everything will come under aparavidya. When he talks about paravidya, this is what it says. He says this. He says, Yat tat adrashyam, agrahyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshuhu, ashrotram, tad apanipadam, nityam, vibhum, sarvagatam, susukshmam, tad avyayam, yad bhuta yonim, paripashyanti dhiraha. That is the bhuta yoni. And that he cannot be described with all that we know, hand, leg, this, that can be heard, that can be seen, that can be, smelt. It is all beyond all that. But that is the bhuta yoni. A person who goes after that, understanding that lakshana, dhiraha, that is paravidya. So this Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is described differently in all Upanishads. It is again and again told you cannot limit it by time, space and object. So that is what he says. So he says Anantam is also can be established. Satyam can also be established. Jnanam can be also be established, Swayam Jyoti and all that. So far he says, all these are there. Please see, use your logic. Don't agree what I say. Use your faculty and think. Think about it. Oh, maybe it is true. That is a charm of Abhyaranya. He is not throwing something, you say, take it and go. He is only telling all these so that it makes us think. Oh, it did occur to me. Maybe there is some truth. It makes us very reflective. Panchadashi makes us very reflective. Because we should get our own samadhana. Somebody saying and all, we should have respect for Guru, and that's the first part. But what stays with me is my own samadhana. So I have to do that mananam and come to a conclusion. Yes, what is being told makes sense to me. I won't take it. Indians never, rishis never ask you to take anything blindly. That's not the culture. You just think about it and see for yourself. If it is not agreeable today, try it tomorrow. Varam varam. It will show up. Right? So that's what he says. Desha kalanya vastunam kalpitatvacha mayaya na deshadikritontosti brahmanantyam sputam tatah brahmanantyam sputam tatah. Desha, in fact, in English translation, I have wrongly split it. That's why I put a yellow color to show this is the right way to split. Kalani I split. It's not Kalani. It's Kala Anya Vastuna. So in case somebody is following the English transliteration, correct it. I split it wrongly. I realized it after I gave it for printing. I thought probably that was not correct. Anyway, Desha Kala Anya Vastunam. Three things we talked, no? Space, time and object. Because we see all that. So, Vidyaranya, Swami Vidyaranya is standing somewhere in a platform of perfection and saying something and going. He is not doing it. He knows that we are seeing. We know that today is 26th of April. And time now is probably 9:15, 9:30. Whatever. So, we have a notion of time, space and object, na? We know this is, Uttarakhand, this is a room in, all those are also seeming to be there. How can you dismiss all of them, we may say. So he doesn't want to say all these concepts and go away. He wants to connect it and also give a meaning to what are you seeing and what will happen and all that stuff. So he says, Desha, Kala, Anyavastunam. Okay? Kalpitatvat cha mayaya kalpitatvat cha na deshadi krita antaha asti. See, all these appear limited. After all, everything is limited and so on. So what is this time? See, we have taken time for granted. I do not know how we came to a conclusion that today is actually 26th April 2025. Can somebody tell me why is it 26th April 2025? Why not it be 27th January 2026?
Yesterday was 22, so that's
So then I will ask the question for yesterday. How did you come to a conclusion yesterday was 25th? I mean, we haven't thought about it. Anyway, I'll give you two samadhana for it. We are saying 26th April 2025 today only because of Aryabhatta. Okay. Aryabhatta said 18th February 3102 BC, 5000 years back. 18th February 3102 BC is a Saturday. I don't know how Aryabhatta got it, that you don't ask me. Okay? At least some starting point. From there, all Indian Panchangas are calculated with what is called Ahar Gana. Ahas is day, Gana is count. So there is a Ahar Gana for today. That is, if you take the 18th February 3102 BC equal to 1, Then 19th February is 2, 20th February is 3. If you add, there will be a big number today. Our Panchanga, when they calculate that, they know the number. Even then, it does not solve the problem. It has only partly solved the problem. Then the same question that I'll ask. How do you know it is 18th February on 3102 BC is actually a Saturday? That question will come. But anyway, going beyond that, we should understand what is this time. Time is only an artificial idea. I want you to first understand that. Time is required only for Vyavahara. If you are in 24/7 Samadhi, hell with your time. Who wants your clock? Who wants your time? Whether it is 2025 or 3025 or 4025 or BC or AD, who is bothered? Time is purely a temporary arrangement that we have created for Vyavahara. If there was no Vyavahara, there is no need for clock, there is no clock as such. Is it not? That's the idea. So, if you read our Puranas, our 18 Puranas, all these Puranas have Pancha Lakshanas. There are five Lakshanas of a Purana. Purana cannot be written, you can't just sit and then whatever comes to your mind write and call it Purana. That's not possible. There are Pancha Lakshanas. Every Purana must talk about the origin of universe. Every Purana must talk about dissolution of universe. Every Purana must talk about Vamshottara, lineage of kings. There are some methodologies with which Puranas have to be written, which means every Purana is going to talk about origin of universe. Time starts only when the universe started. Cosmogeny. In science they say cosmogeny, origin of universe. Cosmology, cosmogeny. ऐसा पद उपयोग कर रहा है. These are the technical scientific terms. Only when the universe started, clock started. If there was no universe, there was no clock. No need for clock. When universe is there, then people came in. Then I have to tell you, come at 8 o'clock, we will meet. So I have to create a notion called 8 o'clock.
Go for a date.
We'll go for a date. Then we'll have to say, we'll meet on next Friday. Something, all these are Vyavahara Padarthas. I want you to understand, this time is purely for transactional purposes. Okay? Otherwise, time is not required. Similarly, the object and space are all only in the field of Vyavahara. If you are in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, how does it matter here whether you are in India, or whether you are in Antariksha, whether you are in Patala, whether you are in Bhuloka, Suvarloka, Maharloka, Satyaloka, nothing. Whether it is night time, daytime, nothing. Whether you are inside a room or outside a room, nothing. So please understand, this Desha, Kala and Vastu, moment you bring these terms, these three terms, we have already gotten into a transactional plane, which we are all. We have a job, we have a business, we have this to do, that to do. These are all Vyavaharik plane, no? Right? So, he said, Bahusyam praja yeti satapotapyata satapastaptva idagum sat. All those is Brahman who cannot be transacted. Brahman is not a pada, is not a vastu which is available for transaction. That Brahman said, let me create some transactional material, and that is how time, space and object came. That's why Nasadiya Sukta said, Nasadasit no tada anim satasit no vyo oma paroyat. There was neither sat, there was no asat, there was space, there was only water. Na mrityura asid amurdam tad. There was neither death, there was no life. What is this before the origin of the universe? Like that Nasadiya Suktam. 129 Sukta in the 10th mandala of Rigveda. Cosmogeny. There are 8 mantras in which the Rishi is speculating what happened, how did this universe came, where from it came, which modern scientists are also asking. How did the universe come? There is an infinite energy, there is a black hole, etc. And they are trying all that. So please understand, Kalpitatvacha Mayaya. So when this Brahman wanted to create a world which became transactional, he used something to create it. That's called Maya. He used a tool. He used a methodology called Maya. And using that Maya, he created Kala, Desha and Vastu. Then he also got into it. Tadevanupravishat. He also got into it. The God particle came into everything. But I am talking about the methodology of how do you make an unlimited to limited. So you are now slowly descending from unlimited to limited. So he said, let me use something called Maya. With that Maya, let me create something which is strictly for transactional purpose only. Disclaimer. It is only for transactional purpose, for nothing else. We write some disclaimer, no? This is only to be used for this purpose. Right?
Boundary conditions.
Huh?
Boundary conditions.
So he said, this is only for transactions. So he brought what is called Maya. Daivi Yesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya, Durattaya. This is what in chapter 7 of Bhagavad Gita you will find. That is also Daivi Gunamayi. It is the Lord who has come with another form called methodology called Maya. And why did the Brahman bring it? To make things vyavaharik. Make it a little more transactional. With that we can justify why we are transactional. We are in the sway of Maya. So that's what he says. Kalpitatvacha Mayaya. But please understand, I only created, I will not be conditioned by that. The Brahman is not conditioned by that. Brahman used a methodology to create a conditional mechanism. A mechanism which is useful for something. See, if it is unlimited air is of no use here. If you put a room, it is of use. Always understand, if you have to use, then you have to constrain. Unconstrained is of no use. You can worship at best. You can put your hands together and say, kya? Mazboor hai. We can say that. If you want to use, it has to be constrained. If I give you the whole world without any building, what are you going to do? I don't know what to do. That way I can't do anything. But if you give me a building in which there is a pantry, there is a kitchen, there is a bathroom, there is a bedroom, there is a hall, then I will start using it. I know how to use it. So remember, whenever we talk of transactional, we are operating in a plane of constraint, conditioned reality. That is a necessary condition for transaction. The unlimited thing, you can't do anything. Right? You can't do anything. So that he created through what is called Maya, but that is not going to limit Brahman. Brahman did not get subjected to it. It is a Leela of Brahman. Yeah, that's why na deshadi kritaha antaha asti. So deshadi, deshakala vastu. Deshadi. These limitations which are created artificially using a vehicle called Maya does not apply to the Brahman. Brahman only created. Brahmana antyam sputam. Brahman antyam sputam. So please understand the unlimited nature of Brahman, don't get confused on seeing some limited things. Of course you see limited things. On seeing limited things, don't come to a conclusion that the Brahman is limited. This shloka says Brahman is not limited. He is unlimited. But he brought a tool to create some limitations which will become little vyavaharik for us. इसलिए उन्होंने किया is purnat purnameva avasishyate. Brahman is purnam. If you take something out of it and create some condition, that means it is not condition, it is unlimited only. Purnamada purnamidam purnat purnam udachyate. Purnasya purnam adaya purnameva avasishyate. What you, after you take purnam, what remains is purnam only. So Brahman is not conditioned, don't confuse it. Of course there is a conditioned reality, I'll come to it now. He is slowly entering there. I'll come to it now. That doesn't apply to Brahman. But Brahman did it. Okay? So that is what is being established here. Satyam jnanam anantam yat brahma tad vastu tasya tat Ishwaratvam tu jivatvam Upadi dvaya kalpitam. So he says that you see Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That which is Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. Right? Tad Vastu Brahma. That is the nature of Brahman. Yat Tat Vastu Tasya Tat. That is the property of the Brahman. Yat Brahman Tat. Tasya Vastu Tat. That is the way you can describe Brahman. Right? So that is not going to get affected by any of these. That is what the first line is saying. Then it says Ishwaratvam and Jivatvam. This is very important. Our Srishti Karya. Puranas will also talk about it. See, a lot of people ask me, is Brahman same as Brahma? We say Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Na? Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara is Ishwara. That's not Brahman. From a Vedantic lens, you have to understand it. Brahman does not have, Brahman is Nirguna. There is no feature. It is only Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Unlimited material, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That is Brahman. Whereas Ishvara is an entity created for a purpose, for transaction. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. That's a very transactional work. Somebody has to create, somebody has to maintain, somebody has to destroy. Na? So moment you get into that plane, that's why in our Purana it says what Lakshmi will do, what Durga will do, what Saraswati will do. All these gods that we have, no, they are all Ishvara, Ishwari. Okay? Because they are all coming from Brahman only. But they are all operating on a transactional plane of a higher order. And then Jivatvam. We are also on the same operational plane at a lower order. So he has brought our current status also into the picture now. Vidyaranya Swami has brought us as what we are today. Okay? So he says that Ishwaratva and the Jivatva, how did Brahman create? Brahman created using Upadhi. Upadhi is again a nice term. Atma Bodha, we have beautiful shlokas on Upadhi. So let me explain what is Upadhi. Upadhi means anything which puts a constraint. Conditioning is called Upadhi. Nirupadhi means no constraint. Unconstrained. Bolta hai na? Unconstrained is Nirupadhi. Nirupadhi. Upadhi means conditioned, constrained. Okay? I told you, if you have to get something to a Vyavaharik plane, it should be constrained. Unlimited thing, you can't do anything with that. Only when you limit it, bring it into something, space is the best example. Constrain it with a building, it will become Vyavaharik, it will be useful. It can be a hospital, it can be a Bhojanalaya, it can be a Patashala, it can be a Griham. How did you get it? You condition the space. You did not let the space go. You condition the space, it becomes a pot. At least you can store water. Condition the space and get a pot with a lid. It's a conditioned space. It can be used for storing water. You break that pot, open space. Nothing. Vyavaharik Prayojana is gone. So, since Brahman want to get into the Vyavaharik plane, he understood that is possible only when I build constraints into the system. Open system doesn't work. So, he brought Upadhi. Okay? He brought Upadhi, and using that Upadhi, he created a transactional mechanism in which we are all playing today. That's what we are all doing. We are on a transactional plane, forgetting our other nature. We are on a transactional plane today. That's what this shloka is saying. Brahman stepped down. Basically, from the high platform, he took a part of him and stepped down. Think like that. He stepped down. In the first step, he created Ishvara. Then the second step he created, there is a whole sort of things you should understand. Gandharva, Deva Gandharva, Kinnaras, right? Manushya Gandharva, Deva Gandharva, Pitra, there are so many steps. Ishvara came step by step and created different things. Then human being came, below human being animals came, below animal beings Stavara Jangamaha came, then came rocks and rivers, Chaitanas, Jata Padarthas came. So it is his beauty of creation. He got one step down, right? Now this is a vast subject. I need 2 days to discuss this. I'll quickly tell. How did he do it? He used what is called Prakriti. Maya, Prakriti are all Samana Padas. Depending upon what context we use, we have to, okay? And these Maya and Prakriti are made of 3 gunas. The guna comes only from there. If all the gunas are in equilibrium, nothing will happen. Only when the gunas get disturbed, the world gets created. If it is in perfect equilibrium, nothing will happen. Moment you disturb sattva, rajas, tamas, idhar udhar thoda hum disturb karenge, usi se panchikaranam, all that we have to read. There are chapters for that. All concepts are put in place. Just because we don't know, we should not think they are mayajal. Very logically written. Where from manas came, manas is a sattva padartha. Where from the body came, it came from a jada padartha. Tamoguna, sattoguna, tamoguna. Everything can be explained. Where from this 1 kilogram of steel came, you can explain it through sattva, rajas, tamas. So God had a beautiful methodology with which He created. All of them are constraints actually. Moment more and more constrained, you get padarthas, which are limited in their reach and ability and so on and so forth. Right? Maya or Prakriti composes, has 3 gunas. Daivi Esha Gunamayi. That's why that word came in Bhagavad Gita. Mama Maya Duratteya. It is my Maya. She is nothing but me. But she is made of the 3 gunas. All those are in that one shloka you can see. Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratteya. That is the second line. Haina? So it is made of that. It is only by using. Now I write a big equation. Anything you take in Vyavaharik plane, you take a mic, you take B. Mahadevan, who is a retired professor, whatever you take, anything you take, that you put on the left hand side is equal to, I have an equation, right? Let's say Narayanan is equal to Sat plus Chit plus Ananda plus Nama plus Rupa plus Guna. This is the equation. Anything can be explained like that. This is how God created. Because He brought Satchit Ananda is the Brahma Lakshana.
God means Brahman.
Brahman. Exactly. Sorry, Brahman. I should not use English actually in Vedanta discussion because it is very misleading. I fully understand where from you are coming. The Brahman created, the Brahman came. That's why Satchit Ananda is there. Then it added Nama, Rupa and Guna, which is all this Maya is bringing. You did a Namakarana also. That's why you call this as a laptop, you call this as a box, you call this as mobile. This has Nama, Rupa, Guna. It has Sat, Chit and Ananda. Material may be less. Ananda may be close to 0. Chit may be almost parts per million close to 0. Sat may be 100%. Because it is Satta. I mean, one can explain all that. That is what He did through the Upadhi. Urnabihi. From that is the Srishti Karya. How you use your own material. Because people ask, these are a lot of questions. In the Urnabihi in Mundakopanishad, the question people ask is, since you said I will slightly divert, so that if you have to create something, I use all that, you can use it in science and business also. If you have to create something, okay, you need you need upadana, okay, you need an agency, material cause and an efficient cause if you want. Nimitta and upadana. An intelligent cause and a material cause. There are different ways we can explain. Nimitta karana and upadana karana. See, if you have to make a pot, you have to make this table. if you have to make this table, two things are required. First, intelligence is required how to make a table. If you don't have the intelligence, so some agency is required. That's the nimitta. Some agency is required. Then you need the raw material. You need wood. If you give me wood and if I have the intelligence, I will make a, right? That is why when people say I don't believe in God, I ask only one question. Simple question, and many of them just after that they settle. People tell me I don't believe in God. Then Ramana Maharshi asked, do you believe in yourself? They said yes. They said good, you are already in the God. After some time you will find out you go. Ramana Maharshi is Bhagavan. So people come and tell me, sir, I don't believe in God. Then I ask them a simple question. There's a beautiful painting on the wall. Fantastic painting on the wall. Imagine. I ask them, I will give you two questions. Which question will you ask? This is what I ask him. One question is, who did this painting here? The painting is so beautiful. Is that the right question? Second question is there any painter? Is there at all a painter? Second question nobody will ask. Because there is a painter, a painting came. Is it not? It is foolish to ask. There is a beautiful carpenter, I mean, exquisite furniture was there. It is idiotical to ask, is there a carpenter? You only ask, where is the carpenter? Right? In other words, the nimitta karana is God. The painter is the God. If you have a painting, that is enough proof there is an intelligence behind it. So if such complex things have been created in the world, it's absolutely foolish to say who created all them. There is nobody to created all this. It's like saying there is no God. So I say like that, I say you think about it. I only give you a certain sense of what I have understood. That's what it is. So it is actually Srishtikarya which is being talked about here. How we all descended and came to this level. So that's what Upadana and Nimitta. Nimitta is the intelligence cause and Upadana is the material. Now the question comes, if Brahman alone was there, is Brahman Nimitta or Upadana? That question will come. Our Tarkikas, our Rishis and all have thoroughly thread and bare have analyzed everything. Is Brahman material cause or Brahman an intelligent cause? Then Mundakopanishad says, hey, it is both here. Have you seen this spider? Yata urna bihi srijate chair. That's what it says. It says the spider spits its own material and creates spider out of it. Cobweb. And then withdraws it also. Back. Takes it. So you can use your own material and you, without disappearing, you can get something out of it also. So like that, plenty of examples. Vedanta is not, many of the examples I gave are from Vedanta only. It's not probably my examples. Our literature is a beautiful literature, Vedanta literature. It gives such examples. In fact, I have in great detail talked about it in my Mundaka conversion lectures. With a lot of photos and all that I have actually shown. If you remember, I talked about how all these are possible. That Upadana, what are all the issues there, how it is being resolved, all that. In my Mundaka lectures, you'll find all that. So it can be Nimitta Karana, it can be. So Brahman is the Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana for everything that is happening now, including manufacturing you and me also. Yeah, everything is Brahman. Okay. So now he is talking about that Upadana. You need some conditioning mechanism, na? Upadi Dwayam. It said in the previous thing, it said Upadi Dwayam, na? Yeah? So now we are talking about yeah, that's what it said. See, I can't go back in my slide anyway. 37, na? While I'm recording, I can't go. No, I wanted to go back. I can't go back. In this recording, I can only go forward. Yeah. Upadi Dvaya Kalpitam, it said in chapter, the Sloka 37. And because there are two entities told now, one is Ishvara and Jiva. So there is one Upadi for Ishvara, one Upadi for Jiva. Bring those two conditioning mechanisms and condition it. So Brahman is now cut to size. That is what is going to happen now. The Brahman is going to be cut to size now, using Upadhi. That is where Vidyaranya Swami is taking us. Because otherwise we will ask what you are asking and so okay, you are saying, so the question, the Purva Pakshi's question is like this. Okay, Brahman is Anantam, Satyam, Jnanam, unlimited, etc., etc. I accept here. Huh? But then you also said, there's a lot of limitation I see. So you say everything is Brahman. Now I see Brahman in a very limited form. You said Brahman is unlimited, but then Brahman is now caged in each one of us. It is limited, no? So how can I agree with what you say? The question will come. You are all the time saying Brahman is everywhere, Brahman is unlimited. But then if you say Brahman is here, moment you say Brahman is here, I'll say it is limited. Finished. So ye cage ko andar hai now. Caged. Brahman is caged now. So all your arguments of Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam goes for a toss. So now I have to explain, no, he is still unlimited, I have to say. Or, so that is where Vidyaranya is taking us. By taking it through this, he has come to our level now, finally. He is talking about you and me slowly. Okay? So he says, Shakti Rastyaishwari Kachit Sarva Vastu Niyamika Anandamayam Gudha Sarveshu Vastushu. See, although this concept can be used to explain everything, including the tree and the insect and the mosquito and all that, Vidyaranya realizes it will just, our head will spin. So we are still talking about human beings, and in that context he is bringing. That's why Anandamaya and all that, even there it may be there. Because of the earlier discussion, he wants to connect it to that. That's why he is doing. So what he is saying, Shaktihi Asti. Okay? Ishwari. Okay? Shaktihi Asti Ishwari Kachit. Kachit Shaktihi Asti. Some power is there. Okay? It is Ishwari. It is godly. Ishwara Sambandhina Vishaya. Daivi Yesha, Daivi Yesha Gunamayi. Daivi. The Ishwari equivalent is the Daivi in Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 7. Huh? So, Kachit Shakti Asti. No, there is some force. There is some power. Okay? And what is its role? Its role is, it specifies all the vastu. It created this conditioning mechanism. Sarva vastu niyatmika. That Shakti is behind creating a coconut tree, a plum tree, right? Anar tree, that beautiful flowers that you see in this anar tree outside. Creating human beings, creating a spider, a dog, a cat, whatever. Sarva Vastu Niyamika. All these, now we are, momentary condition, it will be visible now. All those arguments, you can keep it aside for the moment. We are now talking about the visible part. The Vastu is invisible, we have kept it. We are tired of talking about it, so we have kept it aside for the moment. We have come to our level now. Sarva Vastu Niyamika. There is one Shakti. That Shakti decides how to create all these conditioned reality of the Brahman. These are all the conditioned. Upadhi means that which conditions. Right? When you take water and put it into a bottle, you have conditioned it to be a red color water which is round. You have created a condition where the bottle was round. It was a red color bottle. So if you look at it, it looks like a red color water and a round water. Water is neither round nor red. But in a condition, it looks like that. You took a hibiscus and put by the side of a spatika. Spatika looks red now. Or put a yellow flower near spatika. Spatika looks yellow. Spatika is not yellow. You have conditioned it with a upadhi. You put something to it and then arrested its unlimitedness and brought it to the domain of nama, rupa and varna and all that. by doing it. Haina? So when the sarva vastu is all created, that is nothing but a set of conditioned reality of each one of them. That's what it is. We say sarva vastu niyamika, and what did she do? That it's all in Strilinga. Maya is a Shrilinga. Na? What did she do? Anandamaya Arabhya, starting from that innermost layer, which is the subtlest layer, up to Annamaya, the 5 layers. Guda Sarveshu Vastishu. Vastushu. So it hid that into it. Created all these conditions and hid this fellow. Conditioned it. Right? That is what this Maya did. So from an unlimited entity, God, Brahman created, I am still using the word God, Brahman created a mechanism. Brahman created a mechanism using what is called Maya and created the world of reality. It created the world of reality using a principle called Maya. Yeah? That's what he actually. Huh? Arabhya, that's why Arabhya. Arabhya is there, na? Starting from Anandamaya, the rest is understood. After all, we have broken our head on the five koshas. So in this text, if you say Anandamaya Arabhya, we understand what it means. It means Anandamaya Arabhya, Annamaya Paryantam. In this text, you don't have to say the other thing. Because we are in a text of Pancakosha. Fifth kosha, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ulta. Subtlest to the grossest. Whichever way. Huh? No, all these are hidden. The whole thing is hidden. Maybe, yes. We still don't know whether Anandamaya is in here or here or here, I don't know. Still we do it. Yeah. No, Brahman. We are not talking about how the Brahman is conditioned, no. So the Brahman is conditioned by Maya by laying 5 layers and putting this fellow inside. Like that. Huh? Huh? Where is it? It is coming next sloka, I think, 39, no? No, we are in 38 sloka. We are in 38. Oh, okay. It is going to come. Wait a minute. I took some Swamiji's commentary. It is going to come. Just wait. It is going to come. It has been jumped. I think that Swamiji has just put that as an explanatory notes. We'll see it. Good you asked. It is going to come. No. Yeah. By hiding the karana, you created a karya. You not hitting the karyam. You conditioned the karana and made it a karya. Karya will happen only when you condition. Karana, nothing could be done. Only when you condition it becomes karya. Gold is nothing is possible. Moment you constrain it into a round shape, it becomes a ring. So you already conditioned it by form and shape and look and all that. So karana is conditioned to become karya, not in the karya. Don't use the word in the karya. The conditioned karana becomes karya. Like that we have to think.
So if we say in,
Not only that, there is already a karya, you are now bringing this fellow and keeping it in. Then there is a problem. There are 2 entities will come now. Dvaita Veda will come.
So that is hiding in plain sight.
That's the idea. This is the idea. Yeah?
But we are not able to perceive.
Okay. So we'll, yes.
Lord Brahma is connected with Brahman. Lord Brahma. He is
That's what, that is Upadhi. That is from Brahman only that Brahma came. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. All these are for doing some work. You asked that question 2 days back. The answer is coming here. That's why Brahman is Nirupadi. It has no form, no shape. I told, no? Just now. It is a Napumsakalinga. This is a Pullinga. Brahma is a Pullinga. Brahman is a Napumsakalinga. Because it is neither male nor female, nothing. It has no shape, no form. It is only Satyam Jnanam Anantam Lakshana. That Vastu only we have been searching, we will get it. Because it is not fitting into any of those. To make it available to us, we have now come. Okay? 39. Vastu dharma niyam yeran shaktya naiva yada tada anyonya dharma sankaryat viplaveta jagat kalu. Okay, I think it came later. I should answer her question. I will answer it. It's certainly a distraction here, but having put the term, I should explain it to you. Okay. See, now the question is, in this Srishti Karya, how is the Samashti Anda and the Pinda formed? First, the Anda has to be formed. Then this Pinda has to be formed. We are one unit. Microcosm and macrocosm. ऐसा बोलता है ना? Microcosm and macrocosm. Anda and Pinda. Okay? Vyashti and Samashti, these are all the equivalent words. Okay? So now that Brahman has to create a macrocosm first, for which he used Maya. Upadhi Dvayam, no? Upadhi Dvayam or Avidya and Maya, that's what you asked. So to create a macrocosm, to create this world, he used Maya, which I explained in great detail. I said how one step and all that kind of thing. Now, how did you create this Vyakti called Mahadevan? That's the next question. Pinda has to be created, no? And the Upadhi for that is Avidya. Our ignorance takes birth again and again. It is because of ignorance we take birth again and again, no? If our Avidya is gone, Upadhi Nasha. Avidya is the Upadhi. If you remove the Upadhi, you become unlimited. So this limited entity will not be there anymore. If you come the reverse, if this limited entity has to find more and more births, again and again this fellow has to come. This fellow must have enough avidya, ignorance, no jnana. I have not understood the truth, I have done karma. So the avidya is coming in the form of karma and vasana. These terms are there. Because of the kind of karma we accumulated, sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, all that I explained. Those are all the avidya. They are all collectively the tools with which you create a pinda. But to create this cosmos, that tool is Maya. And that's why Jagat is a Maya for us. Jagat is nothing but a representation of Maya, because Maya only created this. So people ask, what is this Maya? Again, I'm not going to get into great detail because it needs a good discussion. Shankaracharya in his Viveka Chudamani has defined Maya. He says Maya is a very beautiful phenomenon. Sometimes we don't understand. So I'll explain. I'll explain with the known phenomenon which Shankaracharya uses, all Vedantins anyway uses. You see, there was a rope there. This fan was running. There was a rope there. Not much light, dull light, you are coming from there. Because the fan is running, the rope is lying like this and then it is doing like this. Okay. Then, there is a snake here. This is our anubhava. We are not talking anything that we don't know. Many times it has happened. Rope is really coiled. It is little tense also. And maybe brand new jute rope, which more or less can stand like this. And because of the air, it is doing like this. So when I come from here, I see there is a snake. And if I am so scary of snake, first what you look, enough sweat would have come in my forehead already. The moment I stepped in, enough sweat would have come on my forehead. I'll first take my kerchief and wipe my forehead and decide what to do now. So, but I have to come into the room to do something. So I get very tense. Then I run out, and if I have a little courage, I will actually bring a stick. If we don't have courage, I'll call the security and say, please come and then do something. There is no light. That's a problem. Room there, I have to come to repair the ramp, whatever. You keep it like that. So either bring the security. Finally, that fellow comes. Jabardast comes. He's the jnani actually in our example. Jnani. So Jabardast comes. He comes with a torch, with a stick, and you slowly come behind him. He comes and then puts a torch. It is actually a jute rope. It is only a rope. He just takes and throw it in the corner. This is a normal thing, but our acharyas have analyzed it deep and asked questions which I don't think science will not answer. Science will simply say illusion. Period. They use the word illusion. Shankaracharya, these people ask questions. First question: how is it possible that a rope can instill fear in you? It instilled fear in you. Please understand. I took my kerchief and is there some Shakti there? Is there some life there? How can a Jada Padartha put so much fear in you here? Please explain. So much sweat I had. I started. Finally, I found it is a rope. That is a different story. But to get fear out of a Jada Padartha is the highest Maya Jal. That's why we use the word Maya Jal. That's why we use the word Maya Jal. Now Shankaracharya explained how is it possible. I don't think science explained. Shankaracharya explained in Viveka Chudamani. He said, you know why it happened? There are two Shaktis. This is Maya's Shakti. There are two Shaktis. Okay? One is called Avarana Shakti. He says, if that has to instill a fear of snake in you, first condition, you know what is the first condition? Cover the rope property 100%. Even if you see 1% rope property, you will not have fear. The property of rope must be completely covered. Is it not? Started seeing rope, your fear will not be there. Rope is completely, some way you cover neatly rope. Condition 1. It is called Avarana Shakti. Then there is something called Vikshepa Shakti. What it says is, moment you have got something ekdam clean, you can throw anything on the top of it. Now you threw a snake on the top of it. Because you covered the rope property. There is no more rope property. Now anything which is similar to it, you can throw it on the top of it. Actually, this Maya, we didn't throw. The Maya threw the snake on the top of it. We started shivering. There is no reason to shiver. Okay? So, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. That's how the world was created. That the world is Brahman, you first cover it. The world is not Brahman. None of us will agree. Maya has covered the whole world with Avarana. That the world is Brahman, you will not agree. Because we never agreed it was a rope. We thought it is a snake. That is why I got sweat, I got the security, we got the torch lamp, we got a stick. Because 100% we thought it was snake. So in the same way, the world is Brahman, none of us will agree. You are Brahman, none of us will agree. That's why that fellow was told 1,000 times Brahman, he never agreed. That example. We have a thick avarana. Our true nature has been first covered thoroughly. Pack it, pakka. After you pack it, you throw anything on the top of it, it will work. Vikshepa, kship. Kship means to throw. So that is why I think world is cruel. Somebody think world is good. Somebody think world is full of idiots. Somebody thinks world is full of jokers. There are people in the world who will only cheat me. All these are on the same platform. We are seeing 100 things now. The original platform is lost now. That's why I think, she will ditch me. He will not help me. He will make sure that I will fail in this endeavor. And with that understanding, I get into the world. He also has the same understanding. She also has the same understanding. We create a very complex world now.
So basically, Avarana and Vikshepa
Avarana and Vikshepa are serial layers. Please understand. First you need to do Avarana. And because you did Avarana, you had a potential to do anything with that. While removing, you have to remove that first. You remove Avarana, Vikshepa will automatically go. That's what we did. Moment you put a torchlight, the property of covering the rope disappeared. Along with that, snake also disappeared. That is the point. That is why we are in thick Avarana. Ajnanena avritam jnanam tena mukhyanti jantavaha. Bhagavad Gita shloka. That is the meaning of that shloka.
These layers of
Because the baby has not seen the Avarana, it has not started taken charge. It doesn't know existence of Avarana. Therefore, it is as good as knowing. Maybe ignorant, but it is not knowing. For a rishi, he knows. Now comes the third point, the rishi part, the realized soul. Okay. Now if you say, sir, if you know the whole world is Brahman, you remove the Avarana through your, you became, that is called liberation. Basically, that is called liberation. Now, sir, what will happen after that? The world will disappear. World will not disappear. The mirage will appear tomorrow also. Day after tomorrow also. Whenever there is a bright sun and a tar road, mirage will come. Mirage will not appear. I know how to handle the mirage. The world will not disappear. I know how to handle the world. I have understood the true nature of the world. It is nothing but Brahman. So, the way I do Vyavahara will be qualitatively different. The way I deal with it will be completely different. We will not disown it. We will not say it is not there and throw it and then say, oh, I am not there. Everything is gone. I am floating on the air. We are actually in this room only. We will be with the Upadhi only. But we have made sense of the Upadhi. We have made sense of what it is. Therefore, what to do? I know that that's mirage. So I don't have to, make sure that my dress gets wet. So I have to lift my dress. All that I won't do. Mirage is there. I am also there. I will go. So to do all that, avidya is at a pinda level. Maya is at the anda level. In the microcosm, you create this avarana through your own ignorance. In the macro level, Ishvara did. See, he himself came in the form of Maya. He said, let me do it at that level. Even if you remove one, the other will get removed. You don't have to remove both serially. That's why we have to do our journey. The world will also become Brahman. That's another thing. We may be adding more and more avaranas into us. Adding more and more covers and layers. Pikitam Muham. Yeah. The face was covered. Pihitam Mukam. So I remove it and then show it. Yes, that's a good point. Ishavasya also it is there. Okay. So he says, therefore, this Maya created these seeming differences. This is not a very difficult concept. Just see, I am in a factory. I gave this example also, I am bringing it here again. I am in a factory, I have made 10,000 voltage stabilizers. I am a voltage stabilizer manufacturer. Just take an example. 100,000, daily production is 20,000. Right? If you produce 20,000 and leave it in a godown, no Vyavahara will happen. It will be utter chaos. So what do? Even when you start producing, you tag a customer order number into it. So that you can trace it. Oh, this batch of 100 voltage stabilizers must go to your address in Surat. This another 300 must go to your address in Bangalore. This 500 and it should go tomorrow. There are so many attributes. It should go tomorrow. I have promised for tomorrow. We do all that, no? Those are the awarenas on this unlimited thing called a world of voltage stabilizers. There is a world of voltage stabilizers with which you can do nothing. You can only be chaos. To make it vyavaharik, to make it transactional, and to make it manageably. There is one power. That power is, so the Maya in the company is, a fellow who is creating the customer order and put all attributes and stick a tag to it. He is the Maya. He creates order out of chaos. Otherwise it would have been chaos, no? I don't know what, there are so many voltage stabilizers lying, I don't know what to do with that. I have to create a upadhi now. I have to condition it with some attributes. वो करके वो इसका जाना है, वो इतनी ही जाना है, इसी दिन में जाना है, वो सब है उधर. All the details we are capturing, no? You can think like this. Imagine the world has to be also be done like that, otherwise it will be a chaos. Insect will sit in IIM Bangalore, and then people in IIM Bangalore will go to a bird sanctuary. If you don't create the correct attributes, everything will get confused. So you create all the differentiation, create the world of difference. And for every one of them, you put a lakshana, create attributes. That is the job of Maya. Pratak, pratak. So he says, Vastu dharma niyam yeran shaktya na eva yada tada. If it is not there, this Vastu dharma, you have to establish the Vastu dharma. Right? Shaktya naiva, Shakti is Maya. If it is not done by Maya, assuming this Maya was not there, unwittingly we created so much thing, he says, Anyonya dharma sankaryat. All, these properties will get confused with that property will get confused with this property. So this customer order will not go there, like that. Everything will get confused. Thorough mess will happen. It will become chaos. Okay? Now what has happened? We paid a price of not being chaotic and forgot our nature. This is the price we paid. We wanted no chaos. So we imbibed all these properties. In the process, we forgot ourselves. Because these properties are avarana for me. So we solved one problem and created another problem. That is what has happened. In order to avoid the chaos, we took avarana. So I said, Mahadevan is very different from Meera, is different from Karthik, is different from Sundar, etc. He created clean, no problems. But by creating it, in the process of creating it and avoiding chaos, we lost ourselves. Because he created by tagging ourselves tightly. We put all on the Sat Chit Ananda, we put Nama Rupa Guna and then created something which looks different. It's the same material. We created it different by adding this Nama, Rupa and Guna. He is short-tempered, he is nice, he is this, he is very helpful, he is not at all helpful. So many things are there, no? For each one of us, we have a very unique color plate. Triguna is like a RGB of our own life. Right? Red, green, blue, with which they make colors, no? In MS Office. So our RGB is our Trigunas. So we created, we removed the chaos, but we lost ourselves in the process. We did not know who we were. We just lost.
It's self-destructive.
Huh?
Self-destructive purpose. It is called.
So, Anyonya Dharma Sankaryat Viplaveta Jagatkalu. Is it not? The world will become a complete chaos if Maya is not there. Agreed. But then you created order, but you made me forget myself. Then he says, it is now your responsibility. You find yourself. I given you room for, I have removed your chaos so that at least you can now start that you are unique. Like that you start and then you find you are not unique. Go through that process. I did that, otherwise it would have been a much bigger chaos. So I have done all that. छोड़ दूंगा आप शुरू कर दो आपका काम शुरू कर दो. So the responsibility is left to us to find our true nature. That's why if they are started by saying let us peel the layers and slowly find out. Huh? Plavati, one is that, other is, I will check actually the Plavati is one which, 1 minute, basically which, basically it is floating.
Navigates through the
Floating. You can even take that meaning. See, Sanskrit words have a lot, from one meaning you can draw a lot of meanings. I'll give you an example. Plava, floating. You will be floating all over. That's the meaning here actually. Viplaveta means you are floating all over the place. That's the meaning. Basically it means it is chaos. See, Susrusha. Sanskrit words you have to understand very carefully. Susrusha. The word Susrusha, it is called the designative form. Pipasa. Pipasa means patum ichami. Thirst we don't say. We say I want to drink. In English we say thirst. In Sanskrit we don't say I want to drink. Pipasa. Bubuksha. We don't say hunger. I want to eat. Right. You want to eat. Some people only eat when they are not hunger. Mostly people eat when they are hunger. Okay. So bubuksha. Okay. Like that. Susrusha. Susrusha means shrotumichami. First principle meaning is I want to hear. But we use susrusha in a different term. Shishya does susrusha to the guru. You know what it means? If you have to help me, you have to listen to me first. I want X, you give me Y. What will happen?
Sushrusha is used for seva also.
That's what I am saying. If we have to do seva, seva will happen only when you listen to what is required and then do accordingly. You should not be doing something, na? So the word susrusha has different meaning. You have to understand the meaning. It comes from the basic principle that I would like to hear. So in susrusha, I would like to hear the person who gets benefited and do what is anukula for him or anukula for the organization. So that's how the word susrusha turns now. So this viplaveta, it floats all over, which means it is chaotic. You have to understand it.
So Brahman, because he was good, he created this world of diversity
Through Maya.
and to avoid all confusions.
Mm.
And he gave us avidya so that each one is unique.
And then depending upon the quantity or quantum of your avidya, you find your journey now. If you put all of you as the same, it will become chaos of I'll remove. The only job I will do is I'll remove chaos. To find your nature is your job, not my job.
So our ethics now is to understand it so that we can understand it.
Yeah, because with the understanding what we are, by removing this what Maya weaved around us, there will be no chaos. There will be chaos only when there is ignorance. When there is no ignorance, even if you remove all those layers, we will know we are not unique, we are all one. So the chaos will go. That is how it is. Yeah? Chichaya veshatah shaktihi. Shaktischa, we'll stop there. Chichaya veshatah shaktischa. Eteneva vibhati sa. Tatshaktyupadi sanyogat. Brahmaivaishwaratam brajet. Complex sandhi, simple words, but they are all in sandhi. So it appears complex. They are simple words. They are all in good sandhi. Chit chaya, chichaya. Okay? Chit chaya is chit chaya. Aveshatah. No, not aveshatah, veshatah, not aveshatah. Chit plus chaya, chichaya, veshatah. Having taken that vesha, like that. Shaktihi cha yeteneva vibhati. Okay? Chetaneva. Right. Shaktihi chetaneva. Correct. Shaktihi chetaneva. Chetanaiva. Chetanaiva. Chetaneva. Chetanaiva. Chetanaiva. They're all complex sandhi. So we have to, only when we split it, we are getting it. Shaktihi chetanaiva. Chetana iva, because they are all Srilinga. So Chetana, all will Gunasandhi. In any way, they all become Gunasandhi only. Chetana iva vibhati sa. Now meaning is obvious. The moment we properly broke it, the meaning became obvious. Okay. So, this Maya is nothing but the reflection of the Chit, the Brahman consciousness. It is actually the reflected consciousness. That is why it looks like Chetana. That is the situation here also. The reflected consciousness make us Chetana. There is something, its reflected consciousness is why we are all, same thing we can say, whatever you say for Anda, you can say for Pinda also. Same, methodology is the same. Right? So he says, Chit Chaya, that Maya, that Shakti Maya, no, she is nothing but the reflected consciousness of that Brahman. Chit Chaya. Okay? Because she has taken that Vesha, Veshataha, Shaktihi, Chetana iva vibhati. So Maya appears to be very sentient and all that. Why he say Chetana iva? Because the very definition of, Maya, Shankaracharya only brought this concept of Maya very well. Maya is called Anirvachana. It cannot be explained. It is beyond your ability to explain. I'll tell you why. One example I'll give. Okay? Is the dream true or not? How do you answer this? This is a question now. Is dream real or not? Now I am the dreamer. Only at the time of dreaming. Even for the dreamer, see, when you are in the dream, it is very real. That is why in the dream, when the dog was chasing, you got up and your forehead was sweat. That shows it was real. Haina. There was a dream in which, there is a dream, I have, 100,000 rupee under my pillow, and a fellow came and then removed that, you immediately get up. All these are happening in the dream anyway. Okay? See, one fellow was in the dream. And then in the dream, same thing happened. He dreamt that he had kept some money under his pillow. And one fellow actually came and then took the money. And then went away. Then he was in the sleep, he was shouting, catch him, catch him, catch him, he was shouting. A lot of people, these things happen actually. He was shouting, Uchchaihi, catch him, catch him, catch him, he is running. You are sleeping by his side, what will you do? Will you go and catch the chore? You have to wake him, hey, get up here. So now what happens? That chore is real. It is also not real. It is both, na? It is also not real. It all depends on in which plane you are there. We all live a life like that. The world is real. The world is also not real. It all depends on which plane we are operating. This is a daydream for us. That's a night dream. This is a daydream. If you wake up from this dream, which means your avidya is gone, you see it only as a mirage. I mean, it exists, but I know what it is. Not that it doesn't exist. All these are done by this lady called Maya. That's why it is Anirvachana. You can't say she is Chit. You can't say she is not Chit. You can't say she is Sat. You cannot even say she is not Sat. That's why the word Iva is coming. Chetana Iva Bhati. Because she will disappear. The moment you go near, she will disappear. If you go far away, she will again come. That Maya Jal is our life actually. That's why it says Chetana Iva Vibhati. She manifests as though she exists. If you deeply inquire, maybe she is not there. Sometimes we are not inquiring. We have not started the inquiry yet. As far as Maya is very real. We are in that Maya plane.
In a way, mind is the concept.
Huh?
In a way, mind.
That's what. No, because she has both. She can be, so she is also, I don't know, she is even aparoksha, she is something else now. You need a fourth category now. Like that.
Either and other.
That's why, fourth category. No, paroksha and pratyaksha. Paroksha. So like that. Anyway, okay. Tat Shakti Upadhi Sanyogat. Because of that Shakti called Maya, she came as a Upadhi, she came to condition everything. Because of that, right? Brahma Ishwaratam iva vrajet. The Brahma appears as Ishwara. That Brahman only. Brahma Ishwara. It's a Sandhi, okay. It says that Brahman looks like Ishwara because of this Shakti. So that is Upadhi. That's why, Maya and Avidya. So Maya will get you Ishwara. Avidya will get you. One unit. Pinda. That is the Anta. Right? So he says, because of that Maya, okay, she will bring all that, and so Brahman will now appear like a Ishvara. God. That Brahman used Maya as the tool to create the God. Again, I'll tell you, the only text, this is why I keep saying, again and again I keep saying, in fact in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita you have this. There is a beautiful shloka, na? Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddese tishtati Arjuna Brahmayan Yantra Yantrarurana Mayaya. So at the Pinda level explanation is available. That Ishvara, he is using the word Ishvara here. This is very technically we are analyzing. Here Ishvara is actually Brahman. Contextually you have to understand some of the words. In every language, in every text it is like that. You have to understand the word in the context. You cannot simply take a dictionary and understand. There the Ishvara means actually Brahman. Here Ishvara means Upadhi of Brahman in this context. So don't confuse these two Ishvara. But where what he is saying, that Ishvara is coming and sitting in you and he is rotating you. Yantra Rudena Maya, he is running your engine now. Brahmayan, it is spinning you left, right. That's why we are doing, this fellow has a monkey. He does this, monkey also jumps. Right? So the person owning the monkey is Brahman. The stick that he has is Avidya. And we are the ones who are jumping. We are the monkeys who are jumping. The fellow comes with a monkey, and a stick. Whatever he says, he will do, no? So the person who is bringing the monkey is Brahman. The monkey is the Jiva. And this dance is according to the stick. That is the Avidya. The Avidya is riding as one way or the other. That is the equivalent example you can think of. That is what is happening. Yeah. Puppetry kind of a thing. Exactly. All these examples you can connect to this. Okay. So, Ishwaratam Vrajet. Right?
In fact, we have become the real fools in the effect of Maya.
Yeah. Yes, you have become wiser now. With that statement, you have become wiser. Very right. We have become fools in front of Maya. With that statement, you have become wiser now. Okay. Now there are 3 shlokas. I think without a break we'll finish it. So that it's all done. Because the flow is good. He is only doing winding of formality beautifully now. Okay? He says, Koshopadi vivakshayam yati brahmaiva jivatam pita pitamahaschaikaha putra pautrau yata prati. Okay, so he simplified the whole thing. Now, what he says is, we started with Kosha, no? Kosha is Upadhi. Kosha, Upadhi, by bringing all those concepts. Okay, by bringing this Kosha as a Upadhi, the Brahman became human being. By bringing this Kosha as a conditioning mechanism, the Brahman became human being. Sir, this is too much of a Maya Jal. He says, no. The same fellow, Sivaji Ganesan in Tamil Nadu, he did one movie called Navaratri, 9 roles. Same person, 9 roles. I am talking about double act now. There is only double act we are talking. Brahman and Jiva. Or maybe triple act. Brahman, Ishvara, Jiva. That's all we are saying. Brahman, Jiva, and Ishvara. Okay. In this context. So he's saying, Kosha Upadi Vivakshayam Yati goes, becomes, Brahma Eva Jivatam. The Brahman became a Jiva by slipping into the koshas, by getting conditioned through the koshas. It got itself into the kosha and became a very limited entity with avidya, with ignorance, so that Maya can take the hell out of you. You have surrendered you out of ignorance and think this is what it is, we have to do this in the world and all that. That's where Jnani starts going out. Jnani starts peeling the avarna. That is the Jnana Marga. Right? So he says, Kosha Upadi Vivakshayam Yati Brahma Eva Jivatam. And no, this looks different. No, it is not different. It is like Pita and Pitamaha. Okay? Pita, Pitamahaschaika, Putra, Pautrao, Yata Prati. Same person is called son to a father, grandson to a grandfather. Ulta karke hum dekhenge. The same person is called father to him, and that person is called grandfather because he is father's father. Same person is called, he is father to someone, grandfather to another one. So Brahman is the same person. Sometimes he is called Ishvara, sometimes he is called Jiva. And within Jiva you can put a tag also. Kartik, Mahadevan, Meera, Sundar, Prasanna, like that. You can put separate tags also. That tag we knew why we needed it. Otherwise it would have been chaos. I will start operating your bank account. That will be a bigger problem. Right? So he says, all these great Lakshana of Brahman are all caged.
The same person is the father as well as the son.
Huh. And the same person is a grandson and he is a grandfather also. It all depends on which direction you are seeing, what is the upadhi you are using. What is the mechanism used to create the linkage? Utni hai, difference so kya hai, what is the linkage? That's why the linkage here is Maya and Avidya. With that, Brahman is linked differently. The same Brahman is called differently now, using a linkage called Maya or Avidya. So such an unlimited force, such a great entity called Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is meekly surrendered into a cage consisting of 5 koshas. That is one avarna. As she said, there are 100 avarnas, 100 more we are adding also. So the unlimited power is waiting to radiate. We are refusing to allow it. You put a lock and key and kept the key pakka. We don't want to open it. And Maya makes us perfectly justify what. This is the job of Maya. You should do absolutely idiotic thing and you should feel perfectly logical. This is one definition for Maya. You should do what is wrong and you should be doubly sure what you are doing is right. Where is that power coming from? Maya. Because it did the Vikshepa, it did the Avarna and made you do a Vikshepa and you feel very happy about it. You forgot the substratum. You completely forgot the substratum. Maya did that. And because you forgot the substratum, you can do whatever you want. You think that is Brahma Satya. That's how we lead our life. That is how we are going. Now we need to decide what to do. Our scriptures will never say, tomorrow you start opening your lock. Nothing it will say. It say, this is what it is. You do whatever you want to do. I want to inform you. Out of infinite compassion, I want to inform you. बाकी सब आपका काम है. छोड़ दो, use कर दो. That's your problem.
I have a doubt, sir. Brahman, from Brahman, Maya Shakti, and then Ishvara. So Ishvara is under the control. I mean, Ishvara controls Maya then.
That's why in this context, Ishvara is a byproduct of, Ishvara is a modification of the Brahman using a tool called Maya. You are confusing with the text that you read in Gita and all that. So you have to be careful. This is the same thing happening there. We are using different terminologies there. Okay, I'll tell you. Since you asked it, I have it somewhere. In chapter 9, there is a 10th sloka. Maya adhyakshena suyate characharam, jagat characharam. There is one sloka, na? Charam. You are coming from that angle. That and this are same. It's told in a different way. It is told in a different way. Don't get confused. Go and think. I understood where from you are coming. There the word Ishvara is actually Brahman. So many things are there. You have to be very careful. That's why we need to hear it properly from someone, because it has to be properly interpreted. And my favorite example for that is always Uddaret Atmana Atmanam Na Atmanam Avasadet Atmaiva Bandhu Atmanam Atmaiva Rupuratmana. 6 times you tell Atma with 6 different meanings in the same shloka. Atma does not mean the same. Atma is not the Atma that we are talking there. There are 2 Atmas. Ah. No, no, no. Maya created the world of possibilities, which is the Anda. To create a Pinda, Jiva brought, he is the assistant of Maya called Avidya. It works at the individual level, that works at the macro level. So Jiva requires Avidya to create, but then having created and you stepped into a world which is Maya.
Jiva means when you say Brahman and Avidya.
Ah. Ah. Upadhi dvayam kalpitam. Ekam upadhi ekaha eka upadhi maya. Yena etat jagat nirmanam abhut. Dvitiya upadhi avidya. Etena ekaha vyaktiyaha nirmanam abhut. That is the jiva. Okay. But that jiva operates only in this world, which is in the sway of Maya. That's why we are in touch with Maya. You understand? This world is created by Maya. You stepped into the world. Through avidya, you stepped into the world. Having stepped into the world, you will be actually conditioned by the sway of Maya also. It's a superset. It's a subset that is a superset. World is created only by Maya. The physical world. Ishvara.
So Maya is the supreme commander of Vidya.
Anyway, okay. I think we'll just go on. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And if you do it at a macrocosm level, it is the universe. It is the Jagat. Ishvara. Ishvara, and in turn the Jagat.
Ishvara expressing itself is Jagat.
We are getting much cleaner now with all these. I mean, it will go back and forth, but it is okay, because that's the only way we will develop clarity. We don't want to get it right. All these are nice observations which are getting us there. This we have to go back a few times, which we will anyway do as we go along. We will definitely do. I think we are all on the same track, on the same page only. Okay. All part of Ishvara, which is companion, is Maya. All Anda are all Maya and Ishvara. All Pinda are Jiva and Avidya. See, there are 2 fellows here at the microcosm level. There are 2 fellows at that level at the macrocosm level. Ishvara and Maya. Here Avidya, and that's why you see one is Strilinga, another is Pullinga. Look at the charm of these terms. The 2 terms, one will be Strilinga, one will be Pullinga. There also there will be one Strilinga, one Pullinga. That's what I'm saying. Look at the charm of these terms also. Huh? Well, you can in Hindu, in Sanatana Dharma, you can worship. You are perfectly. Maya is also Devi Esha Gunami. You can worship with that wisdom. You can worship Maya also. Hey Maya, you remove yourself. Why can't we can worship? Absolutely, yes, madam. That question everybody asks. There isn't any answer to it. It is Leela. His also I can't use. I am using all the. It's Leela. That's what they say. Oh, पंडित लोगों ने ऐसा बोल रहा है. Sokameta. Shruti also says that. So the moral of the story is, now you look at here. The moral of the story is, even a completely desireless entity gets a trace of desire. Khatam. The world started. That is the moral of that story. Okay, we will. Yeah. Putradera vivyakshayam na pita na pitamaha tadvannesho napi jivaha shakti kosha vivakshane. He beautifully summarizes. What is he saying? Putradehe. Adehe. Putra, Pautra, grandson, great grandson, etc. etc. No? Putradehe avivikshayam. By not making a statement, son, grandson, great grandson, etc. 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 there is no room for Pita and Pitamaha. Pita and Pitamaha comes only when you said son and grandson. If you are not going to talk anything in the direction of son and grandson, where is father and grandfather? Is it not? Avivikshayam. Avivakshayam. If you are not going to talk about son and grandson, there is no reason to talk about father and grandfather. That's the first line. Okay. Pitradehe avivakshayam na pita na pitamaha. Then he comes to our problem in the second line. He says, Tatvat, in the same way, there is no Ishvara and there is no Jiva. Tatvat, na Ishaha, na pi Jivaha, Shakti Kosha Vivakshane. If you take out the vocabulary of this Pancakosha and Maya and all that, there is no Jiva and there is no Ishvara. Everything is Brahman only. Okay, na? He says, he remove this vocabulary. You disown Maya. You say, what is this Maya? There is nothing like Maya. There is nothing like Pancakosha. That means Ishvara and Jiva false now. There is no Jiva and Ishvara also. That came only because of that. The father and grandfather came only because of there was a son and grandson. If you remove the son and the grandson, father and grandfather to khatam. There is no possibility. In the same way, you remove the Pancakosha, you remove the Maya, you become Brahman. There is no Jiva, Ishvara, all those are irrelevant. These are all I am telling to explain what you see now. To explain the empirical world, I am telling all these to you. That's not the reality. I am just telling you what you see. I should not run away by not connecting it to what you are. Today we are sitting on the ground. He has to come to the ground. He can't be flying at 10,000 feet and give wonderful concepts. You have to come here and link it to me. That's what he has done. He said, he removed this Maya, he removed the Pancakosha, this Ishvara and Jiva will fall. And what remains? Our system. What remains is Satyam Jnanam Anantam only. All these will just go away. So from Pancakosha he started, he destroyed Pancakosha finally. So the chapter has gone one full round. He started from Pancakosha, he finally came to Pancakosha and said, throw it out of the window. Meaning, think about this idea. In your Vyavahara, bring this idea. There is not like taking my shirt and throwing. Unfortunately, if there is a way I can do it, I will remove Anandamaya and just throw it. Remove the Annamaya and throw it. It doesn't mean that. Throwing means mentally you challenge this and reach a stage where you exist beyond that. Where you exist beyond that. That's the methodology. I am saying where you reach, I will still exist. I will not go away. I will exist despite that. I will exist independent of that. And how do I show it? Some of the things that you said. You say that is not going to decide anything about me. Because there are people who don't get coffee at 7:30, there is a Mahabharata Vara. So in South India, I don't know about North India, for coffee may not be such an important drink. In South India, 7:30, 7:15, coffee doesn't come, there is a Mahabharata war. That is the level of Annamaya Kosha we are operating.
Swami Dayananda Saraswati, he had given an example in one of his books, The Final Stage. He had said, like, there is a speaker in the audience. All the audience have left. Where is the speaker?
But talking of Annamaya Kosha, I remember another Swami Dayananda Saraswati's. In his ashram, he said, today morning in our ashram, we will serve chapati and dal. In the evening, we will serve dal and chapati. You have to remove Annamaya. You should not get too much worried about all these. Swamiji will say, morning chapati and dal, evening dal and chapati. That means that's all. Don't jump up and down about food. That's one way to peel off Annamaya. You make yourself independent and irrelevant to the food. Food is a big distraction for an average person like us here. With food, so many problems happen to us. We are at such a that is the grossest layer we are talking. We are not able to handle that layer. Grossest layer is Annamaya. We can't handle it. Many of us, we can't handle that also. So all these means, peel it off, throw it off means, see how to handle, how to overpower and go beyond. Anyway, so that's what he says. Last shloka we will see. Ya evam brahma vedaisha brahmaiva bhavati swayam brahmano nasti janmatah punaresha na jayate. Even in the last shloka, he brought one statement from Mundakopanishad. One who knows Brahman becomes Brahman. There is one mantra in Mundakopanishad. Brahmaiva bhavati. That's one shloka in Mundakopanishad. Mantra he brought it. He says, Ya evam, in this manner, Ya evam, Brahma Veda. If somebody understood the true nature of Brahman like this, Yeshaha, that person, Yeshaha, Brahmaiva bhavati swayam. He indeed becomes Brahman. Swayam Brahmaiva bhavati. If we understand what I have said in this chapter, systematically understand is not meaning. Understand is anubhuti. Anubhuti plane. Not in intellectual plane. In the plane of anubhuti. I have realized, I have experienced what Pancakosha chapter 3 said, every bit of it. I have experimented, come to a conclusion, I have experienced it. That is that meaning. Veda is not knowing in a book and reading, memorizing, reciting without knowing, and not that. That's no use. That is called jnana. What we talk about is vijnana. Visesha jnana. Jnana is of no use. Vijnana is required. Distilled knowledge coming out of experience of that idea. So he says, Brahmayeva bhavati swayam. Then he says, he gives another logic. Brahma has no birth, therefore you also have no birth, because you have become Brahman. That's how he ends. He is Brahmanaha nasti janma. Ataha Brahmanaha nasti janma. Brahman is not subjected to birth and death and janma, etc., etc. Ataha Punaha yeshaha na jayate. Such a person, this is his last birth. He will not be born again. Huh? That's right. Brahmanaha nasti janmaha. Brahman does not go through birth and death. Brahman does not go through. First line he said, if you know Brahman, you become Brahman. Second line he says, Brahman never goes through the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, you will not also go through a cycle of birth and death. This will be your last birth. What a positive way he has ended the chapter. And so that is how this Panchadashi is. Iti Pancakosha Vivekanamaha Tritiyaha Parichedaha Samaptaha. Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamada Purnamidam पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ